Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear student, today we're going to talk about the following things. First of all, we will discuss introduction to computer memory, what computer memory is. Later on, we will discuss some characteristics or properties of computer memory. Depending on these properties or characteristics, we distinguish these memories. What are those characteristics? Access mode, access time, data transfer rate, capacity, cost. So these are 5 characteristics of a memory. Depending on these characteristics, we distinguish or we select a memory. Later on, we will discuss some terminologies of a computer memory, that how much the capacity it is in a KB, MB, GB, TB, terabyte, megabyte. Okay, all these terminologies are going to be discussed later on. The last thing which we are going to discuss is a memory word. This is the computer word, or we can say that the processor word, that how much data will at once reach to the processor for processing. Let's talk about introduction to computer memory. As you know that while we talk about memory, so it is a physical device which store your data or program. So two things are storing on a memory. One is the data, another one is a program. Program is what? A sequence of instruction. So they will be stored permanently or temporary. Okay, for the use of computer or other digital computing device. So while we talk about computer memory, basically it's the physical devices, okay, used to store program or instruction or data on a temporary or permanent basis, okay, for the use in a computer or in other digital computing device. So it means that this memory is not only inside a computer, okay, it is available inside most of the digital computing device, because while you are using computing device, the data will be somewhere stored, temporary or permanent. So while we talk about memory, inside it temporary and permanent both are coming. Memory in digital computer contains the main part of operating system and all the application, program and related data that is being used. So this memory holds what? Okay, it holds the operating system also, as well as the program which you are running on your computer. Which program? Microsoft Word, Excel, okay, and the data which are required for them. Okay, you are typing something inside Microsoft Word, so that is a data, but Microsoft Word is itself a program, so both will be stored in a computer memory. Got my point? I think so. So operating system is itself a program, but this program needs some memory. Okay, while you want to run the operating system, first of all it will come to the memory, And which one memory? It will come to the main memory of your computer. Once it comes to the main memory, then it goes for the processing to the processor. Okay. Memory that communicate directly with the CPU is called main memory. In a previous point, I've explained that whenever the memory which directly communicate with the CPU, so that memory is known as a main memory, or another name for that is a primary memory. But whenever we store or use the memory for backup storage, so that memory is known as a secondary or mass storage device. So we get to know that memory is divided into two types. One is a main memory and another one is a secondary memory. All the information is stored in secondary memory and is to be transferred to the main memory on demand basis. Yes, whenever we need to process our data from a secondary storage, it will come first of all to the main memory, and from main memory it will go to the CPU. So whenever we need that, so at that time we moved or shift that data to the main memory, and that from main memory it goes to the processor, and from processor it will go back to the any input device or output device, so it can communicate directly with that. So let's discuss memory characteristics. Before starting the memory characteristics, you have to know that how we distinguish different memories depending on some characteristics. So if you know these characteristics, you can say that this one is better, or this one is good, or this one is worse, or this one is the older one. So what are those characteristics? Let's discuss the first one. The first one is access mode. So we got two main access modes there, or two major access modes are available. One is a sequential, another one is a random access mode. I think so most of you know about that. Sequential means one after another. Okay, in a sequential access mode, data are accessed, or data can be accessed in a series order. Okay, if you want to reach to the location number 10, so you have to go to the 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and then you will reach to the 10. The example I'm going to give you here, maybe you have utilized a cassette player or CD or cassette, audio cassette. Okay, inside it 12 songs are there. So if you want to reach to the song number 5, so what you are going to do, you're going to fast forward 1 2 3 4, and then you will reach to the song number 5. So that cassette or song cassette is using, or inside a memory is there or not, that is a memory, and the mode which is using inside it, that is a sequential mode. Okay, in a random access mode, memory location can be accessed at random. Okay, so your hard drive, your USB drive, your CDs, all they are random access memory. Why? Because whenever you are accessing it, you can directly go to that specific location. In a computer, you are playing any movie, okay, you're watching any movie. At that time, you directly want to go to the end scene. Okay, so you directly click on the end scene and your movie start from there. Understand? So or that mode is known as a random access mode. or another name for that is direct access mode. Okay, so the another one is access time. So it is the time taken to retrieve your data from a memory. Yes, how much they listen here. This is very important. Whenever we are accessing our memory, okay, it requires some time that it will reach from your storage device to the processor. So that time it take, or the time which is taken to retrieve that memory, so that time is known as a access time. So in a sequential access memory, okay, the time is, or it required more time as compared to the random access memory. So random access memory is faster. Data transfer rate. While you are moving your data from one memory to the another memory device, okay, so the time which it taken or taking, so that is known as a data transfer rate. While you are copying a data from a hard drive to the flash memory, or one hard drive to the another hard drive, so the transfer rate is showing over there or not? That transfer rate is basically what, that if how much fast it is, your that memory is much, or we can say that that is a better one. So for example, time taken to transfer a data from hard disk to the main memory. The next one is capacity. Yes, while you are buying a memory, so you know that how much space it have, or how much data it can store, or the amount of memory it can, or the how much programs or data we can store on this memory. So that is a capacity, and capacity will be in a MB, GB, okay, TB, or petabyte. Okay, so it depends upon your requirement. While we talk about capacity, if you increase the capacity, automatically cost also increase. So the price, it is the price that computer user have to pay as per capacity of the memory device. So if you need to buy a 8 GB RAM, okay, you have to pay more. If you need to buy 16 GB RAM, okay, you have to pay double of that or slightly less than that. Okay, so it depends upon your requirement. Memory terminologies. So the first one, we talk about the, in a computer, the smallest, okay, unit of a computer memory in a digital computer is a bit. In a bit, what we can store in a bit, maybe 0 is there, or maybe 1 is going to be stored. While these bits are combined, it makes a byte. How many bits are combined? Okay, while these 8 bits are combined, it make a byte. Okay, and maybe you think that's a, where these bits are there on physically on a memory. In a computer chips, or in a computer memory, basically it is inside the chip which store the state. Okay, and that state is 0 1, means a cell is there, okay, or electronic memory cell is there, which may be store 1 or 0. Inside your IC or chip, a flip flop is there. That flip flop store your 0 or 1. Okay, so the memory state, or the memory cell, has two states, on and off. Let's discuss some more terminologies. What are those? While these 8 bits are combined, it make 1 byte. So 8 bits combined, it make 1 byte. And whenever 1024 bytes, okay, combined together, so they are known as a 1 kilobyte. Whenever 1024 kilobyte combined, it makes 1 megabyte. Same as it is 1024 megabyte combined, it make 1 gigabyte. So we get to know that in 1 GB we got 1024 MB. Okay, and in a 1 TB we got 1024 GB. Same it is 1 petabyte we got 1024 TB, and 1 exabyte we got 1024 petabyte. So the biggest one is exabyte, okay, which is 1024 petabyte. Right now for hard drive we got mostly in a market which is available in a terabyte. We got a hard drives, okay, 2 terabyte, 5 terabyte hard drives are available. Maybe in your computer you got 500 GB, okay, or 1 TB terabyte, which is available inside your laptop, desktop, or in your computer. Memory word. Okay, processor are not, remember that, okay, this point, processor is not processing bit by bit. Processor is processing a data in a form of chunk, okay, or some size of data. So in a computing, the smallest chunk or size of data that the computer can process is called a memory word. So at the same time, how many bit or how many or what is the size of the data that the processor can execute, that is known as a memory word. Remember that it is fixed, it cannot be changed, but may be possible that you can change that. How? Whenever you install a 32-bit operating system on a 64-bit processor, okay, so it is a fixed size, but what you can decrease that, but you cannot increase that, okay, is the fixed size or piece of a data handled as a unit by a processor. Means at the same time how much data or how many lines are coming to the processor so that it can process. The number of bits in a word is called a word size, okay, so that is a word size. Word size in modern computer typically range from 16 to 64 bit depending on the size of computer. It's basically depending on the processor. We got the processor which are 64 bit latest. Previously we got 32-bit processors. Right now we got 64-bit processor. 64-bit processor means that 64 bits the processor can take at the same time for processing, okay. The computer that has a larger word size can transfer more bit into the microprocessor at the time of processing, and that improves the processing speed of a computer. So how much big your word size is, that much your computer processing speed will be faster. The main indication of a word size is how much memory the processor can address. The processor, which is a 32-bit processor, okay, has a limit of a 2 raised to power 32 memory addresses. Remember that processor and memory, main memory, we are talking about main memory, okay, processor and main memory, they should be having same speed. If you are having a processor which is a Core i5 processor and you are using SDRAM, okay, it will not work. It is necessary to use a DDR2 or DDR3 RAM with your that processor. Okay, we were discussing 32-bit processor has a limit of 2 raised to power 32 bit. Means that your 32-bit processor can support only 4 GB RAM. Okay, if you increase the capacity of RAM inside your 32-bit processor, the slot will be filled, but it will not show in your operating system. Another example which I am going to give you, whenever you install a 32-bit operating system on a 64-bit processor and you got 8 GB RAM inside your laptop or desktop, so it will show you that only 4 GB RAM can be used. More than that you cannot utilize, because you have restricted the operating system. The operating system which is installed on that computer will only use 4 GB RAM, other will be not usable. Got this point? Thank you for listening me. Have a good time. See you in next class, inshallah.